Since the dawn of time, mankind has felt the urge to compete. To be the best, the fittest, and the fastest. The invention of the motor car only encouraged this instinct, and the ambition to be the fastest man on Earth was born. By the turn of the century, car racing was not only a popular sport, but was now highly competitive, and the greatest event of them all was the Grand Prix. In 1939, the sleepy Adelaide Hills town of Lobethal was to become the scene of one of the most significant races in Grand Prix history. It was the last Grand Prix before the outbreak of World War II. Thousands flocked to see the spectacle of cars, drivers and motorcycle riders from all over the world, and lined the country road track waiting for the roar of men and machines to give them a glimpse of heroism and daring. Designed in triangle formation, the circuit was made up of 3 country roads surrounding the town, and unlike the previous 10 Grand Prix held in this country, this was the first time it was run on a sealed road, making it the fastest road race in Australia. It was also the most dangerous. On the 2nd of January 1939, 17 of the 21 cars entered made the starting line, but only 9 would finish the 150-mile race. There were plenty of thrills for spectators as car after car fell victim to the treacherous and unpredictable roads. One of the most exciting battles for position was between 2 MG cars, Russell Bowes in car number 24 and Alan Tomlinson in car number 12. Bowes and Tomlinson fought it out on every corner and straight, never giving an inch to the other as they hurtled round the track. Late in the event, Bowes experienced engine trouble and withdrew from the race, leaving little-known Western Australian Tomlinson to win with an average lap time of 7 minutes, one of the finest individual performances in Australian Grand Prix history. Soon after, war broke out, and it would be almost 50 years before another Grand Prix would be held in Adelaide. Today, Grand Prix racing is a vastly different sport, and only giant corporations and the mega rich can hope to participate. But there's still a way that the everyday man and woman can enjoy the thrill of motorsport. One such man is Andrew Hayes. He's a keen collector of vintage cars and the owner of the original car that Russell Bowes raced in 1939. Andrew is hoping to get the car ready for the reenactment of the great race in just a few weeks' time. The engine is in pieces and will need a complete rebuild. I asked him what made him interested in vintage car racing and where he tracked down the car.
My father was racing going back in the early 50s or through the 50s, but he also raced a MGTC that was supercharged, which was clocked I think about 112 miles per hour. It's a very quick car, and he came second in the Australian Grand Prix in Narrogin in Western Australia. Also he went in the 3 Reddix trials. In the first one he took a Vanguard Space Master, the second one he took a Peugeot, that didn't finish, that fell apart in Western Australia. The third one he took a Ford Custom Line and was the initial winner, but he was pushed out of one of the checkpoints and was docked 100 points, so he came first for South Australia and first for the large car class.
And as for the car?
I'd run out of money, like we do when you have young children, and the bank had kind of suggested that I sold a few of my assets. So the TC sitting behind us here, I decided to sell it. And the fellow who was buying it then got offered another MG, which was about $4,000 cheaper. So I said to him, well, you know, what is it? And he said, I don't know, but it's $4,000 cheaper. So I went to the person who owned it and said, what is it? He told me, and I said, well, look, I'll take it. I wrote him out a cheque and bought it sight unseen, then had to ring the bank and ask them if they'd honour the cheque.
Today, she's off to the first step in the restoration process. Andrew has called in another expert, Mario, who will hopefully get the bodywork and paint job done in record time. The body is completely pulled apart and made ready for a new coat of paint to match the original British racing green. Six days later, and hasn't she come up a treat? But there's still plenty of work to do yet, so it's off to the next stage of breathing life back into this pedigree race car. With the body looking good, it's time to work on the business end of the vehicle. With only 3 weeks before the event, it's a race against time, and the clock is ticking. I asked Andrew how hands-on he would be during the process, and he told me he only uses one hand to sign the cheques. The rest he leaves to motor mechanic and MG expert Phil Evans. Phil is well known in vintage motorsport and has a reputation as a magician with the MG motor. Andrew has known Phil a long time and has complete faith he can do the job. A few days later, I thought I'd see how Phil was getting on.
G'day. All right, yourself?
It's not behaving.
It's not.
No. All of the bits, you know, like the fuel pump was reconditioned 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I tried playing with it the other day, but I didn't have the bits, so I put a second-hand one on, and that hasn't worked properly. This failed, and it's had to be reconditioned the last day or so. So I've now got hold of a diaphragm for another one of these pumps. So
Oh, that looks good.
But I think once we've sorted out the carby problems, the fuel pump problems, I think it'll behave for a while. Everything else seems to be okay.
As soon as I heard the motor start up, I knew we were dealing with a serious race car.
Should be all
We're in
right.
with a chance.
It's great. That's fantastic.
It's been a hard 3 weeks.
It has been a hard 3 weeks, but finally car number 24 is ready to take the road once again. On a cold and cloudy day in October 2009, Lobethal readies itself for the next 2 days racing. While some latecomers are still arriving, most of the vehicles arrived the night before and are under wraps in the pits. Of course, there are always some last-minute adjustments to be made. At the command centre, organisers are ensuring that all drivers are registered. And there are volunteers that need to be briefed.
Undo all the fencing, but don't put it in the gutter. Just sit it alongside at the end of the footpath. So we can measure out to make sure we've got enough fencing. Yeah, what they've put there, they reckon is enough. But last year we were about a lot short.
The weather is less than perfect.
I'm arriving every day and every night.
But nothing will discourage these motor enthusiasts.
I can feel the excitement building, and these drivers, as obsessed with their passion as they are, I can't help but admire their determination to get here, get their cars on the road and compete in this race, because they're all taking it pretty seriously. We'll have a wander around.
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And in chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, what we do near, far, in a motor car. Oh, what a happy time we spend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And in chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, what we'll do near, far, in our motor car. Oh, what a happy time we spend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. You're sleek as a thoroughbred.
Your seats are a feather bed.
You'll turn everybody's head today. We'll glide on our motor trip,
With pride in our ownership.
the envy of all we survey. Oh, chitty you, chitty pretty, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And chitty in, chitty pretty, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, what we'll do. Live chitty far, chitty in our motor car. Oh, what a happy time we'll spend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered. Chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, fine four-fendered, chitty chitty bang.
You know, you could feed a small nation for a very long time just on the wealth of these cars in this car park alone. It's a worry. So this is the car that we've been waiting for. It's finally here. Good old number 24. So you must be as proud as Punch, mate.
Yeah, very pleased with the way it's come up. It's, I was saying, it's a temporary coat of paint. It's got to all be stripped back again, but the whole thing's been from way to go in 3 weeks. We determined that we were going to have it here, and so by the time Mario painted it for me and Phil Evans then put it together and got the motor running, got it running on Thursday afternoon finally at 3 o'clock. Brought it up here yesterday on the Friday.
Pretty fine, mate.
Phil has done a great job fine-tuning the car, and as a mark of respect, Andrew will ensure that he gets to take the wheel in the first leg of the race.
Found the button yet? It's a good sign.
Said to him, "Well, you drive?" I said, "No, I don't have to drive it." I said, "No, you've done the work on it. You've done a hell of a lot, so he deserves that."
The cars are as many and varied as the drivers. Young and old, they all share a love of cars and racing.
He's ready coming up the driving next. I haven't got the notion that the crew really
Have you your
Oh,
boots?
there they are, yeah.
God help us.
Okay, the lowest must have taken the shoehorn.
Are you ever gonna push me to be around? Let me do. I need it already and I...
So what sort of car is this?
Model T.
Model T.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Looks like a boat.
yeah. All of about 1915.
What makes a man get into this sport?
In my case, my dad. But if you've got an interest in things mechanical, then these are the sorts of machines where you can sort of see everything going on.
Yeah.
And it makes it's a very satisfying thing to be able to pull something apart and look at it and think, oh, that's how it works, and how can I fix it or restore it or improve it. And with a lot of these sorts of things, it's about not only how you can restore it, but how you can get it sort of back up to speed and up to spec.
All vehicles are scrutinised to ensure they meet the standards of the Confederation of Australian Motorsport. Once the scrutineering sticker is placed on the car, it's clear to be entered in the race. I spotted Alan Tomlinson, winner of the 1939 Grand Prix and special guest of the race organisers.
Tell me something. Does it look any different to how it did back then?
Oh, yes.
Do you know, I've heard stories that the track was such a dangerous track that they called it a driver killer.
The section from the town down at Gumrah
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
is now vineyards, but in those days it was all just raw bush.
If you're in the picture,
And
if you're not,
from
I'm going to have
out
to
of
change
town,
parts and you won't be allowed to have a ride, all right?
I'm sure
Everybody
I
understand?
never survived. I'm sure it was a counter.
A cow track.
No jumping on the curb, no jumping up and down.
Around the tree, you had the tree,
Because they'll say it's not
and
safe.
you had the
all right?
bush, so you couldn't see around where the bends were.
Yeah.
And
So they tell me that you didn't have seat belts, so you get thrown out when it did flip.
I had no seatbelt.
Oh my lord.
I had the body belt.
It was a great pleasure to meet you, Mr. Tomlinson. Indeed. Enjoy your afternoon today. We'll see you again. Thanks.
And here's the famous car number 12 that won the 1939 race. I think it might have been through the car wash one too many times. Somebody clearly has too much time on their hands. Right next to the pits, I found this memorial, and I couldn't help but wonder, were there any drivers buried here?
Gentlemen, how are you? Oh, well, don't worry. So you're all ready for a big day?
Always ready for the job.
Good on you. Real pros you are.
Is that right?
Do you think that there'll be much call for emergency services today?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. There was a few accidents back in the 1939 Grand Prix, wasn't there?
Yeah.
One person was killed? Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I believe 17 started and 9 finished. Is that right? It's pretty scary odds. Lobethal must be a dangerous circuit. No, not yet. We're going in a car later, and I've got second thoughts about it. Yeah, Alan Tomlinson was just saying to me that back then, well now it's all vineyards, but back then it was like cow tracks,
Yeah.
and flying by the seat of your pants.
Basically, you couldn't see around the corner, so you had to hope nothing around there that you were going to run into.
And what blows me out, they didn't have seatbelts, so they get flung out rather than crushed.
Helmets either. I mean, they were using old Air Force leather caps, most of them. So.
It's that. Well, have a lovely day, gentlemen.
You too.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Okay. See you.
The event is only a few hours away. Tension is running high in the pits, so I wanted to devise a strategy for dealing with some of the grumpier drivers.
Donuts. I think we might be able to bribe them with donuts. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Did you get the one with the hole in it? That's not one.
Thank you.
Okay, see ya.
This Alfa Romeo copy is just a little bit late to take part in the race and will remain on display in the main street instead.
It is a bit, isn't it? Be like having your bum strapped to a rocket. Push. All right, that'd be me, I guess. It's part of the job. And you're supposed to make brum brum noises. It's the world's biggest pedal car.
But it's quite a significant car. It was built by Bruce Hartwig. Bruce is also a legend in the motorsport industry. He single-handedly built at least 6 of the cars that are taking part in the event today. With the hundreds of hours that it takes to build a car like this, I wondered if there was any time left for a private life.
Doesn't this make you a sporting car widow?
Yes.
How often does he work on it?
18 hours a day.
18 hours a day.
When he's on long service leave, 18 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
I hear him snore at night, and when I wake up in the morning, he's gone to the shed.
The streets are clearing. The volunteers are getting ready. The police are on standby. And the next time we see this road, it will be full of race cars. So far, we've learned that human beings instinctively like to go fast. So we invented racing, and the cars we drove reflected our spirit of adventure. There are those that passionately pursue the feats of daring and skill that were forged long before them, and there are those that simply preserve the past. Like Andrew Hayes, who in 3 weeks took a historic relic and put it back to where it belonged, on the Lobethal Grand Prix racetrack. After all the preparations, the time has finally come to start round 1 of the big race. The crowds are gathering as they wait for the historic cars to appear.
Well, the big moment's almost here. We're finally going to see the Hayes car in the race. They're on their way out now.
Alan Tomlinson has a place of honour as he leads the cars out, but in a very different vehicle to the one he raced in 1939. But there she is, ready to take part once more. Car after car takes to the bitumen, each one determined to relive its former glory. The passion, dedication, time, money and effort of these drivers is on display for all to see. here's Andrew and Phil in the 24 car, ready to recreate history. And still, they kept coming. There's something about the roar of machines that puts the senses on adrenaline mode, and the sight of these champions of yesteryear gave me goosebumps. Coming out of the town, the paces kept sedate. Once the engines were warm and the crowd was cheering them on, the pack turned on a stirring display. The cars aren't the only legends at this event. Glenn Dix has been waving the checkered flag for 55 years, and in the process has turned it into an art form. Unfortunately, car number 12 didn't quite make the finish line this time. I caught up with Andrew after the first leg and asked him how the car had performed.
Really good, it performed really well, and didn't miss a beat.
I left Andrew to his lunch and went to see what was happening on the main track. Historic racing cars are not the only ones on show today. Touring cars and more exotic vehicles are also taking part. Not that any of these drivers are revheads, but some just can't resist the temptation to show off. Just a little bit. Man, there's a lot of money parked here. The motorcycles are back, and it's good to see that the riders are just as mad as they were 60 years ago. At the end of the day, everyone seems to have enjoyed the show.
It was just sensational. It was a really good time.
It is quite exciting. So get a couple of butterflies in your stomach before you go. And then once you start, it's all fun.
Mr. and Mrs. Claus have traded in the sleigh.
Having fun?
Yeah.
Excellent. You like the race cars?
Yeah.
What about the motorbikes?
Yeah.
Good on you, boys.
The cars are all wet, but the spirits aren't dampened.
There's no rest for the volunteers.
Never stops, does it, mate?
No, mate. It's been a good day. That's the main thing.
Such a magnificent event, and there'll be much more of it tomorrow. Please drive safely when you head back through the hills.
But even as the sun is setting, Andrew and Phil are fine-tuning the car, ready for tomorrow.
This was welded onto the back of the cover there to stop the grease flying out of the universal joints over onto the battery. But every time we were taking a left-hand corner or a hard turn, it was hitting on that and making a terrible noise. So what we've done now is the royal we, is cut that off to so that we don't have the banging in the car. Which was a bit unpleasant. We didn't know whether it was falling apart or not.
So now it's time to relax, wind down and get ready for tomorrow.
Cheers.
It's a beautiful morning and a perfect day for racing. I've been invited to be a passenger in the 24 car, but before I can do that, I've had to sign one of these. It's a disclaimer. CAMS, that's the Confederation of Australian Motorsport, insist that they're not responsible if I get killed. Doesn't make me feel that confident.
You will be alright. We won't kill you. It stops, it has brakes, it's gone through scrutineering, and everything's okay on it. So, but it's just a matter of there's three bends which are sharp. There's a hairpin down the bottom,
yep,
and another one just when you come onto the Woodside Road,
yep,
and another one when we come in to the main street of Lobethal. We take them fairly hard. There's a fair group of people on each one of the corners, and they don't want to see the cars just drive around like a Morris Minor going to church on Sunday morning. So the driving should not be irresponsible. Even though a lot of the cars don't have speedos, you endeavour to drive at the speed that you're supposed to go through those towns. It's a very valuable thing that we're allowed to do this race, so it's a bit stupid when people put it at risk. We'd be the envy of the world, be able to go out on a pre-war circuit and to be able to go around as we do.
Going to start. I've now done what you did, tried to start it in gear.
Sorry, we've got a church service going on here. No car's supposed to be going until about sometime after 10.
Okay,
all right, no, that's all right. I just thought I'd make you aware of it. That's all. All right, good on you, mate.
The church isn't the only one giving out instructions. For unauthorised parking,
the White Statesman parked in packet number 45. Please move your car now.
and for smokers.
Please extinguish or stand in the lake in the middle of the oval.
As I'll be a passenger later in the day, I asked Andrew for some details of the course and some reassurance that my death was not imminent.
We're here. We come out here and do a right. Glenn Dix will send us off here. We'll then head down within the speed limit through here. This is an open section. We'll hit a bit of speed. We'll get up to the top there to that hairpin. We're changing back to second gear. heavily under brakes and do that turn there, so that's where you've got to hold on. We then come down here. The road's fairly good today, so it's not wet, so that'll be 110 through here. And this is where we get down to the Woodside Road. Again, we'll be going down to about second gear under brakes, probably third gear under brakes. And then down here, and when we get into the township, we start to slow through here. There's no vision through that area because you've got a fairly big dip. And we turn right into the main street here, and that'll be mainly third gear going through the main street to keep the noise up and to go through, but with safety. We're permitted to pass at any part of the track, but we're not allowed to take any risk or put anybody at any risk. So we've got to drive in a responsible manner.
Oh, that's good news.
If you don't, you get removed, and you don't drive again.
Yesterday, a car was clocked at over 200 kilometres an hour going through a town. So at this morning's briefing, the police are reading the drivers the Riot Act.
I thought I'd clear up what is obviously some confusion. If you're caught speeding, you'll get done. If you go more than 40 kilometres over the speed limit, we call that speed dangerous. And in very quick order, you lose your car, your licence, and a shitload of dollars out of your wallet.
Andrew has run into Alan Tomlinson, and I sincerely hope he's getting some last-minute driving tips.
Well, the moment has come. I'm going to get in this thing and go around the track. Let's hope I survive. Well, I'm feeling reasonably confident that I'm going to be very scared. Now I've got to squeeze myself in here. And it's not the easiest thing, I can tell you. It's about as comfy as a coffin. Let's hope that's where the similarity ends.
And let me tell you, as we approached the starting line, my adrenaline was rising, knowing just how close I was to the ground. The first few kilometres out of town would be taken at a controlled pace set by a police escort. But even at a reduced speed, it felt a hell of a lot faster than we were actually going. Once we lost the escort, it was on for young and old. Although this is a reenactment event, every driver is looking to rewrite history and jockeys for position. I could feel what it must have been like for Russell Bowes as the 24 car surged to overtake. The straight bits are all right, but when you hit the corners, it's a fight against gravity to stay in the car. Now that I'd overcome my fear, my human competitiveness took over, and I found myself mentally urging Andrew to go faster. Come on, Andrew, put your foot in it. But with the police signalling to slow down and the warning of this morning's briefing still ringing in Andrew's ears, we had no choice but to stick to the 120k limit. By the end of the third lap, all I wanted to do was go round again. But alas, all good things come to an end.
Well, that was possibly the most exciting thing I've ever done. But I think I've soiled my trousers.
You were worried.
But even after the race is finished, there can still be mishaps.
Now, I've found that whenever you go to a supermarket, there's generally a bingle in the car park. I wonder what the effect of that would be in this car park.
Rather upsetting, depending on the car. I can well imagine. Yeah, there'd be a few cars, people would be upset.
I bet they would be.
They wouldn't.
How much money do you reckon is sitting in this car park?
Millions.
I would have thought so.
Yeah, millions. There's cars here which are worth $1 million.
There's only one duty left for Andrew to perform, and that's to line up proudly with the other MG drivers that have taken part in this event. These cars represent more than just motor and metal. Their drivers understand this better than anyone. They're all a piece of history from a time when our heroes were daring, resourceful, and above all, courageous. Anybody who was at this event could appreciate the beauty of engineering and the spirit in which it was preserved. Alan Tomlinson stands alone with his car number 12, and I can't help wondering what's running through his mind. Perhaps he's thinking about colleague and competitor Russell Bowes, who never raced again after the Grand Prix of 1939. Instead, he went to war and gave his life for his country.
I've been saying to myself for years, who in the name of God wants to listen to some man talking about something that happened 70 years ago?
Well, we do, Alan. You were a hero then, and you're an inspiration now.
Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
So the event is over for another year, and the cars and drivers are returning to their homes. But you can be sure they'll be back, motors tuned, bodies polished, and all revved up for the next time we take the road to Lobethal.